fellow human, or should I say fellow writer? So you wrote a book, huh? You really did it. First of all, congratulations. I know many people who are writers who are awesome. You know, some of them don't want to write a novel, and they don't have to, but some of them do want to write a novel and realize how tricky it can be. So this is amazing. And that you have the courage to publish it, that you want to publish it, is even better. Now, I think I also put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video, but just let me make sure that you're not watching this video for nothing. This video is purely for indie authors and people who want to self-publish via books on demand, print on demand services. All right. This being said, let's get into the first part. Why should you listen to me? My references. I always wanted to be traditionally published. Now, there was a problem with that. When I wrote my first novel, 14.1, which has a very funny reason why it's called like that, but I think that would make the video too long. I sent it off to like 30 publishing agencies. And now the thing is, you know, usually you would send it to more, obviously. But I was just quite discouraged by that. And then one day I stopped because I got a mail. And I got a mail from a gentleman from a publishing agency saying, dear Miss Echo, you know, your pitch is good. Your pitch is very good. And the first 30 pages of the novel, they read very good. If I could decide, I would publish your book, but there's a problem, hear me out. We couldn't sell it to enough people if we would try to sell it. He said, your book is good, but it's not something that the broad mass would be interested and attracted in or to. So he advised me, you know, why don't you try self-publishing? That might be the road for you. So I went down that rabbit hole and then haven't come up since again. So there we are. That's the reason why I self-publish. And I think we should start maybe with the good reasons to self-publish, the positive reasons. Okay, so first of all, freedom. Complete freedom over your novel. You can decide, how will my book look? How big will, you know, the letters be? Is it going to be decorated inside? You know, like, sorry, I'm missing the English word for it, you know. Do I want to have decoration inside? What do I want? What is going into the novel? Now that may sound weird, you know, obviously you write it, it's your book. But in Germany here, publishing agencies can basically decide, for example, let's say you will publish with a very big publisher and you have a cat in your novel. And this cat is, you know, the best friend of the main character of the MC and saves the day. So it has to be in there. The publishing agency can tell you make a dog out of it or we'll scratch the book. Or they can tell, oh, you have a great title. We want something completely different that sounds stupid. We're going to take that one because we know it sells. So that's a very big plus. You have the complete freedom to write your novel and to actually get it out to the people that exact way. Now, the other good part about self-publishing is you have your own timeline. So you can't, you know, it's up to you what you want to do first or how long you want to do it. If you go traditionally published, you usually have a deadline. And you usually have a deadline if you're traditionally published and you have to go quick. And with that, it can't really happen to you, you know. Also, not only can you decide what's in the book, you can decide how does the book look. I chose my own cover designer. I chose the people, the editors who would look through it and correct the grammar. I chose the people who would make the inside look nice. I was the one in charge and that felt amazing. Now, this being said, let's get to the downsides of self-publishing. As I said in the very beginning, you might not know me, and that is one of the big downsides of self-publishing. All those novels I put my heart and soul into. Now the problem is, I am very, very bad when it comes to self-advertisement. I don't have the self-esteem, I don't have the time, and I don't have a single clue how to flirt with an algorithm enough to make me famous or to make me seen by people who also write and might be interested in my books as readers. So this is one of the first negative points I would have when it comes to self-publishing, and it's definitely one of the mistakes I made with self-publishing, which is not enough advertisement, or the advertisement is not early enough. You didn't start early enough. You do not do enough. You don't try to advertise your novel on enough social media platforms. That is the first negative point that comes to my mind when I think of self-publishing. And mind you, the negative points I will tell you are not necessarily bad. There's just things that made it harder for me. It does not have to make it harder for you. Maybe it works to your advantage. It's just something that I struggled with severely. All right. The second negative thing I have is money. So, when you're traditionally published, usually you do not pay for your book to get printed. Actually, not even usually. If someone says, oh, I'm a traditional publisher and you give me money and I print your book, don't do it. It's a scam. They only want your money. Your book will never get out there and your book will probably never get read by more than your friends and family. So, money. You have to pay a lot of money for cover design, for editors, and if you do print on demand, you have to pay print on demand for even considering doing it in the first place. And if you don't go with a print on demand service, you have the printing itself, which is costly. So for example, with this one, I tried to save money, and so you can see this cover is very blunt. It is because it was a free sample, template of the self-publishing books on demand service that I used. With this one, I actually won in a giveaway, so that's cool. That's a professional cover. And the same lady did this cover as well, which I paid for. And that's a couple of €100. Now, if you want to have your book edited, that's going to be another couple of €100 and dollars. And then if you want to look it nice, even more. So I think if you really want to publish a book and you really do want to have everything you want, you should, I think, if you're in Germany or if you take a look, I wouldn't be surprised, let's put it that way, I wouldn't be surprised if you spent about £1,000 in your book before actually making money with the book. So, also a downside, which might also be a plus, depends on how you see it. For me, I'm not really sure at this moment, is if you don't go with a print-on-demand service, but completely do it yourself, like I did with my third novel, then you have to pre-order books. So at the moment, I have about 20 books that are not sold yet, not pre-ordered yet, in my bedroom, and there will be another 50 coming. And I think it is good if you have someone like, oh, I want to read your book, where can I buy it? And I'm like, really? Yeah, I'll sign it for you, I'll bring it tomorrow, and you just pay me. That is cool. On the downside, if you don't sell it for an infinite amount of time, you had a lot of books in your room that want to have new owners and you can't find them because you did not advertise early enough. Yeah, those are my problems. Don't have to become your problems, definitely. Also, one big plus side, if you don't get a print-on-demand service, but if you self-publish, is you can decide how much you want for the novel. You can do the calculations yourself. With this one and with this one, the print-on-demand service, Books on Demand, basically told me, all right, we spend this amount of money, it has this amount of pages, the print will be this and that expensive. We advise you to want either this amount of money or at max this amount of money, but not less than this amount of money. Now the problem is, if you're not well known, like I am, how are you going to sell your books if they're expensive, right? You don't want that. So when you self-publish, like indie author style, and you print it yourself, you can do the calculations and then you get maybe a bare minimum, and at least it sells for a reasonable price. The good thing with this is, if you completely self-publish and do not use a print-on-demand service, you don't have to pay them with every single book. Imagine this. This book, I think, sold for 13 euros and 13 cents because I felt funny to that time. And what did I make per book? That's right, about 70 cents. I did the whole work. The cover designer did this work. She was amazing. And I earned 70 cents per book. Now with this one, it's not even coming that far because I can choose myself how much will I spend. I don't have to pay anyone anymore because I already paid anyone and everyone. So that is cool. That's another plus I forgot. I will add this somewhere in the video, I guess. Now, let me end with something to not make this video too long, and also I don't really know what else to say because that's all the experience I can offer to you. Let me just say, this might sound scary, you know? It sounds like, oh, you're not making money with your books, but you spend a lot of money for your books, and that is completely true. Self-publishing does not mean, by any means, books will sell. And it does also not mean you will make money, even though you put your heart and soul and money into your project. You know, I always tell myself I have to be prepared that the novel is not doing well and that I do not make money out of this. And I, at the moment, do not do it for the money. Obviously, you know, at some point it would be great to be able to live off of my writing. But first and foremost, my goal is not to make money with novels. My goal is to let people experience my stories. I want to be read. And how do I do that? Simple, by getting books into other people's homes and hearts. You know, it's not about the money. And I think that's quite similar to a song text. It's not about the money. Yeah, price tag, yeah. It really should not be about the money for you. If you want to make money, maybe don't write in the first place. Or make yourself a name and then go self-publishing, or you find a traditional publisher, you know, but then again, this video isn't for people who want to be traditionally published, but who are interested in how is it to self-publish. And I think as an indie author with 3 novels, one of them actually being a bestseller, the first one, I can safely say you don't really make money out of this, but you're getting read, and that is an amazing feeling. So let me end Let me end this video by saying, do not be afraid that your book will not sell, because realistically it probably will not sell if you are stupid like me and don't advertise. But be prepared that someone you don't even know from the other side of the world or the other side of your country, you know, depends on if you're writing English or some language that is mostly only spoken in your country, will text you or contact you in any way and say, hey, you don't know me and I don't know you, but I read your story and it was wonderful. It will always have a place in my heart. You know, that is the best reward you can get. It makes up for all the struggle you had, all the silent hours you were writing, all the hours you were struggling over editing your novel, or over discussing stuff with your cover agent, or getting all the rejection letters. You know, you should be proud of those rejection letters. You can go there, and if you watched so far and you feel a wee bit motivated, even though I said countless times, you know, it might not sell, it might not get money out of it for you, I am so proud of you. You know, that is the spirit that we need. Writers need to be published. We want to be read. And I wish you the very best that you succeed. And I hope that you succeed. This being said, thank you very much for watching this video until now. It would really help me if you would maybe subscribe to the channel or leave a like or a comment to help with the algorithm, and also to help with my self-esteem, I would say. And also, you don't want to miss new videos that I make. Happy Preptober, everyone! We're only 1 week away from NaNoWriMo 2022. I wish you all the best, and remember to stay human. Don't let them catch you.